Drinking water in Mississippi could possibly be changing soon. 3 on your side's Claire Cole joins us to explain how that could affect you and your family. Claire?
That's right. All 3 Mississippi commissioners approved a resolution urging the legislature to discontinue the addition of sodium fluoride in public drinking water systems. But according to the Mississippi State Department of Health, the presence of that fluoride in your drinking water is imperative.
I want clean H2O.
That's what Central District Commissioner DeKeither Stamps said when discussing his stance on the need for sodium fluoride in water.
And our position is that everything that is synthetically added to your water should be reviewed and prudent decisions made so that we can be transparent with the citizens about what's in their drinking water.
And he's not the only one pushing for the removal of fluoride. Currently, 28 water systems in Mississippi are officially pursuing the discontinuation of fluoride. And it may not be the naturally occurring fluoride that you're thinking of. Stamps says this is different.
There's naturally occurring fluoride in some of our well systems. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the synthetic additives that are purchased and added to it.
Stamps questions the need for those additives and the proper consumption rates.
Fluoride should be reviewed when it's added to drinking water. Because who says you're getting the appropriate amount? Who says it shouldn't just be done when you brush your teeth?
According to its website, the Mississippi State Department of Health actively supports community water fluoridation. The website notes that fluoride protects teeth from decay and strengthens enamel. They also note that fluoridation in community water is safe and effective and prevents at least 25% of tooth decay. Stamps tells us a lawmaker is expected to introduce a bill banning fluoride in public water systems in Mississippi next week. We will provide updates once that bill is filed. Claire Cole, 3 on your side.